welcome back to my channel. Today we are having a little girls' night. I'm going to do my monthly girl chat video, which I have been, I think I'm 3 months in now, but I thought it would be fun to do it at nighttime and make it super cozy. Just like, oh my gosh, I just see Handsome's his paw is just sticking out under the door. Just one paw. He wants to come hang out with us, but he is on one tonight, so he's not allowed at our sleepover. Yeah, I thought we would just hang out and I would go through some of our girl chat topics and questions. I have my nighttime drink right here. This literally tastes like a healthy hot cocoa. I'm actually working with Beam on this video. They make a ton of different products, but this specifically is their Beam Dream nighttime powder. I don't know if you can hear Handsome. He's crying to get in. Should we invite him to our sleepover? I don't know. I don't know if I can trust him. But anyway, it's so good. It's made with 5 natural ingredients that promote sleep. It definitely helps me and Kyle wind down at the end of our night, and it doesn't leave you feeling like super groggy in the morning like other sleepy products. So we really love, and it's just so cozy. We just love drinking this before bed. So you guys have heard me talk about CBD before on my channel, and I just love all the unique benefits it can give to you. Beam's CBD is actually triple checked by a third-party company to make sure it is 100% THC free, so you never have to worry about that. There is no added sugar, and it is only 5 calories per serving if that's something that's important to you. I like to make mine about like 30 minutes before bed, so this is perfect. By the time I'm done with this video and my drink, I should be pretty sleepy. If you guys want to try Beam for yourself, you can use the link in my description and the code Kian15. That will actually give you 35% off your first order if you sign up for a reoccurring subscription. It is super flexible. You can pause or cancel anytime, but if you're not ready to commit to that, you can still use my code to get 15% off your one-time order. So if you've been looking for something to just help you wind down at night, help you sleep better, and has good natural ingredients, highly recommend. But yeah, let's get into some of the questions for our girly time sleepover party. First question is how to not get too deep or close with a guy friend. I've been struggling with this. Oof, that is tough, and it's definitely something I tried to avoid. I definitely got pretty close with one guy friend when I was single, but I've just found that like feelings always develop on either side. And he was one of like the only guys I had hung out with alone and like had a lot of deep conversations. And then when I did end up getting in a relationship, that started to be a problem, and we kind of stopped being friends because my boyfriend at the time was not cool with it, which I totally understand. And clearly there were some feelings there. So I totally understand not wanting to, you know, have super deep friendships with guys. I've honestly never been someone with a lot of guy friends, which I know there are girls who are like that, but how not to do it? I mean, I would probably just encourage you to only hang out in like group settings, but if you're not romantically interested, definitely let him know and set those expectations. And yeah, you might just need to take a few steps back and maybe just not hang out or just have really deep, heartfelt conversations with him anymore. Somebody asked books you love. I've actually read quite a few books this month, and I remember in my last video I was like, I don't understand how people read like 10 books a month. I don't know exactly how many I've read so far. I'm currently reading another one. I feel like I've maybe read 4 or 5. I'll include some more of the books I read in my like monthly recap video. But you guys know I love the selection series, so I was looking for something similar, and I came across this Desolation series, and I read the Rejected what is it, The Rejected? I read the second book, I read the first and the second book in the series, and I like the second one a lot more. It's called The Promised Prince. So if you're looking for something along the lines of like the Selection kind of royal romance, I would recommend that one. Somebody asked, do you ever have sex on your period? We personally do not, but you totally can if you are comfortable with that. And yeah, I don't think we're against it, but I don't know. It's not something I usually want to do. Somebody asked, do you call Kyle out in the moment if he looks at another girl? I honestly, Kyle's really good about not checking out other girls. I mean, he intentionally looks away at the beaches and things like that, but I don't think I would ever call him out if I felt like he was. Like, sometimes I just check in with him and be like, how are you doing, like, with lust? How is that going for you? Any temptation? But I never want to, like, call him out. I have done that in past relationships and it just ends in a huge fight and denial. But yeah, Kyle's really honest, and I think if I ever was like, oh, I just, felt like you were checking this girl out, he would, I'm sure, either just like apologize if he was and say like it wasn't his intention and he tried to look away or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I just trust that it's never his intention to be looking at other girls. Somebody asked, have you ever had a copper IUD? Any experience? So no, I've never had a copper IUD, but I had a friend get one and her experience was really bad. Just like crazy symptoms for months, and her body really rejected it. So yeah, that's really the only experience I can share, not from my personal experience. There's a great podcast on birth control, and I think it's not that I'm against birth control, but I'm against not having an educated decision. And I don't think doctors do a very good job of educating us on what birth control can do to our bodies, our side effects, our fertility. Nobody tells us anything, and they also make it sound like it's so easy to get pregnant, when if you look into like the process of fertilizing an egg, it's most likely a very small window throughout your month when you're ovulating. I know there is a chance to get pregnant like throughout the whole month for the most part, but it's like chances are pretty slim, I guess. But I don't know. They don't tell us that. They just make it sound like you can get pregnant really easily and you need to get on birth control. I personally would have just wished people would have encouraged me or educated me more on what birth control can do to you and how it can make you feel. Because the first pill I got on made me extremely depressed and like had terrible mood swings, and it was horrible. And I tried a few other things, but at the end of the day, yeah, I just didn't. Looking back, I wish I would have at least been more informed about what it does. So, somebody asked, how can we learn to love ourselves despite worldly beauty standards? I feel like as I've gotten older, I care less about what my body looks like. I don't know if that's also with marriage. It's like I still want to be healthy, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's because like in high school it feels, and in college it just feels like there's so many people to compare yourself to, and on social media. But yeah, as I've gotten older, I'm like, listen, I don't want to spend my whole life not liking my body. It just seems, I don't know, it just seems so sad that like I even look back into, like my high school years, some of them, and college, and I'm like, it's just so sad how much time I spent obsessing over what my body looked like. So I pray that with age, some of those beauty standards will fall off of you, but I think sometimes you have to take extra steps to guard your heart. So like if there's somebody on Instagram that you follow and it really triggers a lot of comparison, or like hatred even towards your body, I would definitely unfollow. Nothing against them, but just to protect yourself. Somebody asked, why is it so hard to make friends with girls? I've had different experiences. I feel like sometimes it's harder than others. There's so many reasons why it can be hard, and it could be stemming from you, it could be stemming from them, it could be stemming from both of you guys together and you're just triggering each other. I know it can be hard if you've had a lot of past hurts from friends in your past. That can definitely impact making friends in the future if you've been hurt by some of your close friends. I was definitely it was really hard for me to make friends in college. It was pretty easy for me to make friends in high school. I was very confident, and I grew up with the same people, and I was involved in cheerleading and track and field, so it's easier to get connected with people in those atmospheres. But I feel like in college, especially my first 6 months to a year, it was really hard for me to make friends. I felt really awkward in my sorority, kind of felt like the odd one out. I also had mentioned I had braces, so I was a little bit insecure, and the confidence I had in high school definitely did not carry over to college, so I totally feel that. But what I've noticed is if I am not close with God, then I do not have usually the right heart posture to make friends, because I'm more looking at it in a selfish way, what can I get out of them? I need friends, instead of what can I do for these people? How can I love them? How can I pour into them? And I think that is a huge shift that will attract more genuine friendships in your life if you look at it in that way, where you're just asking God, what can I do for this other person, instead of it just kind of being focused on you and what you can get. And also just getting involved in any way you can. So for example, our church right now is doing a 4-week leadership path, and it's for a lot of the young adults in the community. And so going to those, I have been able to meet a bunch of women, and some things, we're having great conversations there, but there has to be a lot of action outside of that too. So don't be afraid to, pursue friends. I'm all about the pursuit with friends, asking them to hang out. Just showing that you're interested in them. You never know what people need. Someone's trauma could be not feeling wanted, and so they're a little bit harder to make friends with, because they're not going to pursue you because they're afraid that you don't want to be their friend. So you just never know what people need when it comes to friendships. But I always say to try to pursue women, and just you're inserting yourself into their lives, so make double the effort, and don't be afraid to message them twice. Somebody asked, how do you overcome spiritual stagnation? And I feel like the answer for that is so different for everyone, because everybody's personality is so different, and God reaches them in so many different ways. But I feel not judging. I don't know what's going on. There's a helicopter circling. But not judging yourself when you're feeling stagnant, not shaming yourself for that. I feel like as we read through the Bible, there's so many times they're like, God, where are you? Why have you forsaken me? They're calling out to God and being like, where the heck are you? I feel so far. So I think it's a very normal thing in every Christian's walk. So don't judge yourself for it, because I find condemning, it just turns into condemnation and gets really heavy and even harder to kind of push past it. But I always come back to having a friendship with God, and just making sure I pursue Him in the same way I would a human here on earth. So whatever that looks like in each season. And I could tell you X, Y, and Z, and read this and do this, but honestly, that just doesn't seem to work for me. I'm not really good at forcing myself into quiet times or anything like that. I would also say to have friends and community that love Jesus. Like I said, we've been going to that leadership thing at our church, and it's just been igniting so much in me and Kyle. And we are both coming out of a really stagnant season with God, and so being in that kind of community has been awesome because we just get to hear so many good things about God and what God's doing in people's lives. So I love it. Love it. Love it. I might have to cut this. I think I might need to end this because I'm like, this is really doing the trick. I'm ready to just cozy up in bed, read a little bit, and then just knock out. And this is also really random, but are you ever scrolling on TikTok at night and you just see those lives of people sleeping on camera, and like people can send gifs and it like makes noises? Like, does anyone else come across that? And I'm always like, what in the heck is going on? Like, are these people actually trying to sleep right now? Like, why would you put yourself through this? That looks like my worst nightmare. But I wanted to remind you guys before I go that if you want to try Beam, you can use my code Kian15, and all the info will be in the description. So yeah. Alright guys, I love you. Thank you so much for joining me, and remember, Jesus loves you more.